In this episode, we are going to talk about my two garments that I'm currently making, the Bella Blouse and the Ranunculus, and a new project that I cast on. Let's get started. Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mariet, also known as the Boervrou, and this is episode 51 of the Crafty Stitches Podcast. Today is the 29th of November 2023 and I'm coming to you from South Africa. I brought myself some coffee today in a new mug that I got the other day that I really love. It says love grows here. So I brought myself some coffee. I hope you have something to drink while we chat about all of my projects, and I hope that you have something nice that you are working on. And feel free to share down below in the comments what you are actually doing while watching the podcast, if you like. Alright, so let's get started. I do not have any finished projects today to share with you. I only have 3 works in progress, all 3 of them on knitting, and yes, I have a little bit of news, so let's get into the projects first. Right, so my first project that I would like to share with you today is the Bella Blouse that I've been knitting. I am using this yarn, and this is the details of the yarn. It is 100% cotton yarn in a fingering weight, I would say, and it came on this cone, and I got the yarn as a gift from my friend Liani from Independence Yarn Crafts, and I have added a little bit of knitting to this project, but I have a very good feeling that I might have to rip back a little bit. Not exactly sure yet. So it turned out the part that I marked my progress on is actually the back panel, but this is where I was in the previous episode. That beautiful stitch marker there is a stitch marker by Annegret from Tunisian Crochet, and turns out the other side of this project is actually the front, and I just split the front and back panel stitches, and I started knitting flat to do the front, and I started the patterning. And I have a suspicion that my body of my top is a little bit too short. So I'm thinking I'm going to add about 8 or 10 more rows to the front, and then I'm going to put it on barber cords and I'm going to wash and block it and see how much it shrinks, because my experience with this specific project is that 18 centimeters of knitting shrinks into 16 centimeters. So my blocked gauge for this project is 36 rows, whereas the project is written for 32 rows, which means I need 4 more rows of knitting to get to the 10 centimeter length of knitting. Anyway, so I have knitted a little bit more on the body than I think I needed, but if I look at it this morning after I now split and I put this on, I think it might be a little bit too short. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to block it, and if the body is, say for instance, like 2 centimeters too short, I decided I might not rip back. I might just insert my needle at the hem and cut the ribbing off, and then just knit the ribbing again in the different direction, and just knit that longer. But if it's like more, like 4 centimeters or so, I will rip back the front panel and then just knit the body longer before I start the front. But so far it looks good. It looks very nice. I'm really looking forward to wearing this one. And after I split the front and the back panels, you do have to knit every second row or whatever, purling to get the stockinette effect, but that doesn't bother me at all. I really like the shorter rows. It feels to me like it's flying. Anyway, so that is my Bella blouse. I will let you know in the next episode if I had to rip back or not. I am knitting this project on 3.5mm needles. I cast on for a size 6 and I decreased for A-line shaping in the body to size 4, and that's what I'm knitting at this stage. So that is the medium, so the top half I'm knitting in the medium size. So I'm very excited about this project. I'm looking so much forward to it being finished so that I can wear it. I hope I do not have to rip back, but we will have to see. I didn't get enough time to do this and get it washed and blocked so that it will be dry for the podcast, because I was a little bit distracted by my ranunculus, I will not lie. But this one is next on the agenda to get finished because I really want this project in my wardrobe. Alright, that is the Bella blouse done. Now let's move on to the ranunculus. So if you have been here before, you would know that this is my 5th ranunculus. Apparently I also cannot get enough, because as you can see, this was my 2nd ranunculus that I've knitted. I actually forgot to say in the beginning of the podcast what I'm wearing, but this ranunculus is the 2nd one that I've knit, and this is done in a double knit cotton yarn from Moya in the amethyst colorway, and this is my fifth one. Just get this needles right. So in the previous episode I was just finished with the yoke. I was still busy with a raglan increases. So I was here at this beautiful stitch marker, which was a gift from a friend, and this marker was made by Annegret from Tunisian Crochet as well. So I have finished the body. I finished the body and it looks like my ribbing is singeing in, but because it is a twisted rib, I think it's not going to singe in that much after it has been washed. I did go down 1 needle size, maybe it's actually 2, because I went from a 4mm to a 3.5mm, so I didn't go to a 3.75, I went down to a 3.5 for the ribbing. The pattern does suggest that you go down a needle size for the ribbing at the hem, at the bottom of the body. But anyway, and I decided to do a nice long ribbing as suggested in the pattern. I did heavily modify this project because firstly I knitted on 4mm needles, not 6. I increased the body length with a lot. I think from the underarms to the end of my body is about 35 centimeters, and I don't think it's written for that much. It's very cropped in the pattern. So it's much more fitted and it is much longer than it should be according to the pattern. I also split my sleeves at a different ratio than in the pattern. I should actually do this percentage wise, but I'm not sure what it exactly is. But I added 5 more stitches from the fronts and from the backs, from the front and the back to the sleeves. So say for instance in the pattern the split would be 20 stitches for the sleeves. I added 30, so I added 5 from the front to the one side of the sleeve and 5 from the back. So I made my sleeves a bit bigger because my arms are a bit bigger and otherwise it does not fit properly. So this fits beautifully. I've already put the needle in for the sleeve. I did not add the yarn yet. I just added this last night because I knew I'm going to need the barber cord for the Bella blouse. Anyway, so I did that, and then I think I do have enough yarn for my last hank that I actually washed and bloomed off the cone. So this is what I have left. And I think this will be more than enough to finish my sleeves with. So I don't think I would need to cake up more yarn. Right, so that is the Ranunculus. I'm knitting this with a sock yarn, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon blend, undyed, just like it came off the cone. I just washed and bloomed it to remove spinning oils, and I am working with it just like that. I'm loving this color. The more I work with this, the more I like beiges and white. I don't know how to keep white clean, but I actually bought a white sleeveless top that I'm trying to keep clean. I've worn it twice and I kept it clean so far. So yes, I bought the top just for in case this is too see-through for me and then I have something to wear underneath it. But if I look at this, I think if I have a flesh colored bra or a white bra underneath, I shouldn't have any problems with lots of see-through. But we shall see when I actually have to wear it. But that is my Ranunculus. I am knitting this project as part of a make-along that I hosted with my friend Leonie from Independence Yarn Crafts. It was on Instagram, and I'm saying was because it was for the month of November, and we are actually having our last meetup on the 3rd of December for this make-along. And yes, I think I will have it finished by the end of the month. Even though the end of the month is tomorrow, might have it finished tomorrow. I'll try. Otherwise, it'll definitely be finished by Sunday. I actually want to get it done so that I can wash and block it and wear it on Sunday. That will be nice. Alright, what else can I say about this project? Not really anything. I need to finish it first and then I can see how much yarn it used and then I can share with you what it looks like on my body. Super excited for this project to be done so that I can wear it. Alright, the last work in progress that I would like to share with you is some socks. So my friend Leonie and I decided in, I don't know, June, July or something of this year, we are going to do a little mini yarn swap at the end of the year for the month of December, and then we are going to knit some socks, stripy socks. So both of us got our box or bag of yarns and we actually numbered them, so every day you will open a package and knit your stripes into your sock. So I decided that before I start on the 1st of December, I would like to knit my toes and get them done because I want to knit my socks in tandem. So I did that. I used some leftover yarn from another pair of socks, which is this yarn. This is the Schachenmeyer Regia 4-ply yarn. I knit a pair of shorties with this, and this is 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon or polyamide, and it is 420 meters for 100 grams, and I just knit 2 toes, and I intended for the toes to be matched. So it's from the same yarn, but it's mismatched. If that makes sense at all. Whoops. Okay. So these are my 2 small little toes. Let me do that. So hopefully you can see that they are mismatched. So I'm going to use my DB toe up socks method, where I will be knitting my socks toe up with the heel flap and gusset, and I will be doing my toes in one of my own leftover yarns like this. My heels is going to be in another leftover yarn that I already have, and I'm thinking of doing my cuffs in a purple that I dyed myself. So that is the idea for now. We will see if I change my mind along the way on the heels and the cuff, but I already done the 2 toes. I have already done the 2 toes. So that is ready for the 1st of December. I wanted to weave in the ends last night, but yeah, didn't have a needle with me. So I must still do that, and then I'm ready to start my socks, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, what else is there? I don't think there's anything on projects. The moment I am finished with the Ranunculus, I might cast on another project. I already shared the yarn with you in the previous episode. I'm going to make a little shawl, and then I'm going to put most of my time into the Bella blouse so that I can get that done, and then I'm going to start another garment project, summer garment project for myself, in some cotton yarn that I bought at Arthur Bales in the beginning of the month. So I'm trying to work up the yarns in the projects that I intended for as soon as I bought it. Not leave it in the stash for more than a year. So that is the plan. Alright, what else? That is it on projects. I think we can move on to find out what's been happening. Don't have a lot of news, but just a little bit. Right, so last Sunday, it was the last Sunday of the month, and we had our Surplus Yarn Stories episode 20. Surplus Yarn Stories is a monthly show that I co-host with my friend Liani from Independence Yarn Crafts. We had a guest, and it was Claudia from the Sunbird Crochet podcast. She is a very good crocheter, and she loves to turn knitting projects into crochet projects. So I think if you want to try that and maybe get some tips, you can check out the episode here. I will link it up here for you if you maybe missed that. We had a lot of fun. Alright, and then the only other piece of news that I have this week is that I have decided to take 3 weeks of leave in December. So last year I tried to take off 2 weeks, and yeah, it worked a little bit, but not too good. So this year I decided I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to take off. So I sent a message out to all of my customers and told them I'm taking leave. So the next 2 weeks I think will be very busy getting all of the stock and things out for everybody, so that they can make sure they have enough things until I start working again on the 8th of January, I think. And yes, I don't think there will be any interruptions in the podcasting schedule because podcasting doesn't feel like work to me. I really love doing it. So I think that's one of the only things that I will keep doing this month. I'll be knitting for fun, crocheting for fun, and podcasting. I think that's it. Um, my friend Leonie and I will have another episode of the Surplus Yarn Stories this month. So I think that's one of the only things that I'll still be doing in the month of December after I've closed. But I will not be doing any baking and that type of things, just for the house. So that is what I will be doing this December. So what will you be doing? Are you going on holiday? What projects are you working on? What are you taking with you? Share in the comments down below. I love to know what you are working on and if you want to share some plans. I think that is it from me for this episode. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. If you are new, I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you will consider sticking around. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see any more of my content. And I will see you in the next one. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye!